Hey everybody, and especially you, Anthony B-Dog. This video is for you. I'm at a mountain fortress. This is a fortress that once protected the Suruga Bay here in Shizuoka. The samurai would perch themselves atop this high mountain and watch the shipping trade going up and down. And if there were any ships that were out of line, or any warships, they could warn the battlements further down the coast, and warfare could commence. A very interesting place. And right here we're at the well. This is where you can actually look down inside. This is actually the well that served this mountaintop fortress. A very interesting place, very old. And I'm just wandering around, and I was thinking about you, Anthony. I watched a video of yours. It took me a couple of days to get to see it, but you're walking in the snow video. And I was delighted by that video. I was especially delighted to see you endeavoring to take a risk and take a chance and make things like this. This is neat, and I was honored that you mentioned my channels as well. So what I wanted to say was I wanted to recommend your video to others, because I think that your video is a good example of what you can do when you set out to tell a story. And remember in the forum, we talked about your video. Molly and I and others were talking about your video over in the forum, and that was before I'd even seen it. And one of the things that I mentioned in the forum was about telling a story. Let's wander over this way as we go. Maybe we'll get a nice view of the bay. And when telling a video, we're talking about having an opening and a good middle and a good closing. And I think your video did that, and it also had what I thought was a very valuable thing, is that you delivered what you promised. And at the beginning of the delivery, you promised a video in keeping with the YouTube Bullet Train and LylesBrother style. Which I was interested to see how you were going to do that. And you did exactly that, insofar as you gave the YouTube Bullet Train randomness, the glimpses of life as they're passing along, just as I'm about to do here. Look at this stone with the cut marks on there. Isn't that interesting? These marks were there for attraction, I think, and they were likely placed in the stairway, or maybe in another part of the structure. I see those moved around in old fortresses and the like. So just like that, you did that in your video. You were showing us the footsteps. You were showing the one footsteps that were very long and indicated that someone had been running. I thought that was very interesting that you pointed out that little detail. You showed us the tree and the snow. And if I was looking at the comments as well, a lot of interesting comments from people who lived in places where there was not a lot of snow. I, for one, was interested as well, growing up in Southern California. Here's another one. Let's see the marks on the stone there. I love this kind of stuff. Just what I'm doing right here, the kind of YouTube Bullet Train type of stuff, is exactly what you did. So you lived up to that. The other thing you did was you said that you were going to do something LylesBrother-ish in terms of talking about life, and you did just that. You offered us the question, why do people do what they do? And you followed through with that, and you gave us some ideas about cognitive consideration of what you're doing, and the type of stuff where it's just kind of coming out. Life is happening and you're not giving a lot of thought to it. And I wanted to add something to that as well. I wanted to talk about the different types of the brain. The brain has different levels. And there's the old reptile brain, and then we have the more advanced brains on top of that. And a lot of the old reptile brain basically is responsible for a lot of our unconscious behaviors. The decisions that we make in terms of aggression, in terms of territoriality, mating, a lot of that kind of stuff occurs down there. And maybe what you're talking about when you're saying, why do people do the things that they do, and you mentioned some people do things without thinking about it, maybe a lot of that's coming from the old dinosaur brain down inside. I don't know if it's actually related to dinosaurs, but it's called the reptile brain, the R complex. And the other part you mentioned was the actually giving thought to our decisions. And I'm hunkered down like this to try and stay out of the wind for you guys. We're almost to the gate. And I think that is indeed the case that happens with maturity. As we grow older, we begin to give more thought to things, especially as we have built up a library of experience in our brains from past events that give us some food to work with. Here we're at the gatehouse. This is where the samurai would have been positioned in here, awaiting the need to come out, maybe change of the guards. And this is the gate right here where the samurai would have been posted, watching over the bay. Let's go take a look at that as I continue to talk about Anthony's video. So Anthony, I think you did a brilliant job of showing us your area, giving us those glimpses as you desired to do, and also introducing and talking about an interesting life aspect of life. Congratulations, you promised something and you delivered. And I hope that you enjoy all the follow-up. I saw almost 3 pages of follow-up comments on your video, so clearly people are enjoying what you're doing, and I did too. And I'm going to leave you guys now with a glimpse of Suruga Bay from this gate where the samurai once watched over and protected Shizuoka from foes and friends who may also be foes. Take care, everybody. Congratulations, Anthony. Keep it up, okay? Don't stop. All right, take care. Bye-bye.